Hey, I guess it's time to use the words again. But it feels really hard these days, trying to put things into words when they don't really fit into words anymore. I'm trying to translate my thoughts. Like, my thoughts are not words, they're like visions. They are just these kind of realizations. I don't know. They're just coming and I'm like, this week has been crazy. I feel like it's all just exploding all the time. I'm seeing it and I'm like, wow, I can still actually be here. I saw this, I see this, and I'm still able to be here in a human body. It feels so much like a privilege. This huge vision the other night, actually, in the middle of the night, I woke up channeling again, like, and I wrote it down. 3D is collapsing. I saw this dream and it's just all, it's so clear. People are trying to fit into 3D, but it's not really possible anymore. I mean, it really is collapsing. People are realizing it sooner or later, that they cannot put themselves into the same box anymore. People are trying to fit in there, they're trying to go back there because it's what they're used to, it's the familiar route, but they cannot anymore. I mean, they try to, and they are there somewhat, like, in some kind of mental fog, but it's not as easy anymore. Depending on the person, of course, everybody has their own route, their own pace. And a lot of people are still, a lot more in the Maya illusions, in this, lower states of consciousness, in the brain fog. Because I feel the society is so kind of trucked up. People have this mental fog going on all the time because they are feeding it. They have so much entities attached to them. It's the moment you become clairvoyant and you actually see people's auras, you also see the entities that are attached to them, and it's pretty freaky because there's so many of them. Like, people are so driven by entities that they're not even aware of. But yeah, people are so trucked up in so many ways. Like, if you keep the people in this fog, they cannot see clearly, they cannot see the truth, they don't start questioning things. Eventually, like, people, they're forced to break free from their beliefs because they're not finding what they're trying to find. They're not finding, because it is an illusion. In this old earth, it is really, truly an illusion that they're feeding us. Illusion of security, the illusion of health, the illusion of being normal, being a human, just a human, just like functioning in a very limited state of consciousness, in a very limited power, because we are all so infinitely powerful, but we are being told, we are being kind of led into this program in which we believe that we are less than we truly are, and then we're getting that experience because, as you know, how this reality works is we are tuning into different grid systems, and when we tune in there, we receive all those beliefs that are part of that grid, and we are in that reality because those grids, they're reality constructs. We're tuning into belief systems. Belief systems are reality constructs, and that's how we are creating our experience, our external reality, that frame in which we see everything. And the more conscious you can be of the grids there, the more control you have over your reality, because you're not just driven by some grid. You are able to actually consciously change your beliefs. You're able to actually consciously change the grids you're tuned into and have much, much more freedom. You're not just operating from a limited state of consciousness, you're operating from a wider perspective, from a wider state of consciousness, and you see all the grids there, and you see how people, you just look at people and you see how they're creating from a certain frame, from a certain grid, from a certain, you know, belief system, and that's their experience, and that's perfect. We all have the right to have just the experience we're having, but people are so tuned into so many different grids. I look at this earth and I see there's so many different collectives we can kind of explore, we can learn into, because this really, truly, it's like a school. We are explorers of this realm, and we can incarnate just to explore a certain area or some, like several areas, that because we want that experience, we want that expansion, we want to learn through that. It's really an amazing playground for that. It's really an amazing schooling system, school. But again, now at this time and age on planet Earth, we are actually on planet Earth, do you get it? It's time that we are moving forward in our evolution as a collective. We are becoming more conscious. We are integrating more of ourselves here, more of our consciousness here. And that means that we can no longer exist in this limited 3D. It's not, we don't fit there anymore. That's basically what happens. Maybe some of us who are not reaching this higher state of consciousness, but are still finding themselves kind of in between, you know, they realize they don't fit in there anymore. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel satisfying anymore. That's the thing. Do you feel that your life, you're not satisfied with your life? If you feel like that, it means that you're already like more awake. That it's not, you know, it's not enough to live just in this limited space. It's not what you want anymore. It doesn't serve you anymore. But you may not still reach this higher bliss and higher connection yet, but it's there and it's gonna be there, and trust me, it's gonna be 1,000 times more enjoyable than being on this lower consciousness reality. I mean, it's a different experience. It's a blissful experience. It's like, it's a very different experience. And I've been really like thinking about it, like, because once you break the box, once you break free from 3D, it's really, there is no going back. So that's where, like, many people get kind of depressed when they're not reaching this higher awareness, or they are not really feeling themselves. They're not really, their heart might not be open. They're not really feeling this unity. And when they're not really feeling this unity, they're kind of feeling pointless, because they don't fit in the matrix or in this 3D anymore. They don't get any kicks from it anymore. They can't. Just like I realized many times, I can't do the things that I was able to do 5 years ago, because I feel like it's so low vibe. My consciousness is so much higher from that. And that's how it goes for all of us at our own pace. The mental fog, it's something really like that when you let go of all those distractions, when you let go of those things that are creating that kind of fog, like distractions, that's when you can truly, you know, find and hear yourself and connect with yourself. They're kind of like, I feel like we have so much distractions in this matrix that we are not, you know, so present. It keeps us in the mind space, but we don't want to be just in the mind space, because we can get so lost in there, and it's so crazy. I mean, crazy, well, it's crazy anyway here, but you know, you kind of lose yourself. You don't want to lose yourself in this time, because, well, it only means that you're not able to reach these higher states of bliss, you know, this 5D and beyond. Everything is here right now. Everything will always be here right now. Everything that has ever happened will always stay. We've written it in this book. We have learned it in this school, because this is all like really lessons and lessons and lessons. Like there's so much downloads that are just coming and coming coming like every day, and there's so much clarity and high energy, and yeah, I just want to spread it out into the collective. See you soon again. See you soon.